over there, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you dead?
It's been a while since I've hit a vape like that.
Maxo drives like an F1 driver.
Okay, alright.
Tries to anyways. He takes corners way too fast. I'm not sure if it's because he's bad at driving or because...
Well, his car is kind of scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's a 96 Buick Century.
Ooh.
We were turning right onto 55 there, Highway 55. Taking the turn way too fast. All of a sudden you hear the old snap plus terrible noises from underneath the car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem, though. I knew what it was right away. Max was shitting his little pantalones a little bit. I said, pull over. It's just the exhaust system fell out. So, and it was sitting there. I guess there's two, like, rubber grommets or foam grommets.
Yeah.
That is like, and one of them was ripped completely off, and the other, like, the muffler was being held on only by that. Like a piece of metal and a grommet, and the rest of it was just hanging there.
Wait, did this just happen?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
This is yesterday.
Okay.
So I was sitting on the side of the road of 55 with an asp that Max has, like a extendable baton for beating people with, right?
Okay, alright.
And I was just trying to snap that metal off, and there was just, I just couldn't do anything. Finally, I grabbed a couple towels out of his back seat and, like, protected my thumb, and then just pushed the rusty wire through the foam grommet, because of course he didn't have a knife on him either.
Yeah.
So then, it was like, I dragged it out from under there. Max like, oh, we could just put it in the trunk. It's like, no, the whole thing fell off from the engine block, like.
So he's running like cat back.
All the way, yep.
Ooh, off the header.
Oh yeah, right off the header.
Okay.
So I fucking dragged it out from under the car. And I was like, okay, pretended to put it in the trunk as people were driving by. And then as soon as it was free and clear, I just rolled it down the goddamn ditch. And then we took off for Chase's house.
God, that thing has to be so fucking loud.
It's the loudest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And I was trying to fool both of us, like, keep Max calm and me calm. Be like, nah, it's only because the hole's right underneath us, right under the cab. That's the only reason we can hear so much. It's no big deal. So I called Chase on the slide, said, all right, Chase, let me know. We're about 3 blocks away from your house. Let me know when you can hear us. He's like, I can already hear you. It's like, oh, okay. All right.
Dude, that is so fucking loud when...
Well, I think that's all hearable anyway, for the most part.
Yeah. No, but what I was going to say is... I've rode in cars where it's like cut off right at that point, and it's so fucking droney, and I don't know if it was like shaking the car too.
Oh, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Like the seatbelt holders were like the whole time. So not only is your head being ripped apart by the loudest exhaust noise of all, but then it's also shaking your teeth.
Well, now he can get that MagnaFlow he's been wanting.
I think
that custom glass pack and all of that.
He left for a bit today, and honestly, like, he didn't tell me where he was going. I heard the door shut. I was like, oh, I guess Max is gone. I was like, I bet he's going to come back with a new car. But he didn't.
I was going to say, I saw it sitting outside of your house.
Yeah.
Did he at least go to like a muffler shop or something? I think it's only like $100 or $200 to get that fixed usually.
Yeah, it can't be too bad.
No.
I don't think that's in the cards. I think he's going to go to Walzer Subaru and get himself a nice new vehicle.
He's going to get a Subaru?
I don't know what he's going to get.
What if he gets like a fucking like Hellcat or something?
That would be fucking amazing.
Could you see him driving that?
He's like, new eyes, new Hellcat, baby.
Yeah. I don't know what Max would be driving. Well, he's always talking about like those 2000s like Buick Regals and like the I don't even know what you'd call them, a classy car kind of, maybe
like a town car kind of.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the things he was looking at Chase's last night was a 2008 Buick LaCrosse. So that fits exactly right in.
That's exactly what I would expect Max to drive.
It's not a bad car. No. I think my grandma drove one of them.
Yeah.
They're like the rounder ones, right? The rounder ones. Yeah.
And they're smooth riding.
And they got AC.
Yeah. That's a helpful addition. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bumblebutt Podcast, the only podcast on the internet that uploads weekly. Who knows what it'll be about? Certainly not me. My name is Adam. Sitting across from me is Cody. How are you, Cody?
I'm doing great. Feels like we haven't been here in forever.
We haven't. We missed another Between the Bumbles, and we... real life is a real dick.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it. At least we keep the main show going. So that's what's most important. But yeah, I was in LA, obviously, so...
I love LA. You know that song?
Is it Tupac?
Yeah, you ever heard that Tupac song?
No, but actually I want to talk about the Scientology Museum, but we'll save that for Between the Bumbles because that's like a bigger thing, and it's really fun.
Tune in Wednesday.
First ever propaganda museum, so it was pretty fun.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever been to a propaganda museum before.
So that's your first one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you been to one?
No. Did they offer you like reading?
No. I could feel they wanted us to stay there, but we'll get into it. It was creeped out. I felt creepy.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Like even when Chase screamed at him at the mall one time, it was like I was still just like, ugh, those people are just slimy. Like we had the upper hand, but I still feel bad about it. Also sitting across from me is Jordan. How are you?
Good.
How was your week?
Long.
Arduous?
A bit arduous.
Did you get mortar in your eyes?
Deciferous?
I got some flexa mortar in my eyes. I don't know. I'm just very tired.
Don't you usually get flex more? That's like cost of doing business?
Yeah.
All right.
You're tired? You've had all day to sleep.
No, we had to... Today was a mandatory Saturday.
I gotcha.
Because we are so behind on everything.
The rock men are behind, huh?
Oh my god, it's insane.
So we can expect a very peppy Jordan this episode.
Oh yeah, totally peppy.
He'll be right in there.
That's why I do have some caffeine in front of me, so...
Yeah, you're not even drinking. What's going on over there?
Oh no, I'm doing this before I drink, don't you worry.
Did you just wake up before you came over here?
No.
Okay.
I've been up since like 5:45 this morning.
God damn. All right. Well, I mean, you're making money. You're doing your thing. You got a little Dr. Brinkley in you, I can see.
I mean, I do have a wedding coming up, so...
Oh, yep. Have you decided what you're going to serve?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, we've discussed this.
Yeah, it's going to be food trucks, son.
Right.
We talked about it on here. All right, Cody, why don't you fucking take us to part 3? Everyone's been waiting for it, myself included.
And, I hope everybody remembers we kind of just, actually, I don't even remember what episode 2 was, but I'm pretty sure you've listened to it, and you'll pick it up as we go along.
You're on vacation, I don't blame you.
Yeah, my mind's fucking fried. Anyway, so picking up right where we left off on part 2, the medical question box.
Right.
What exactly is this thing? What exactly is the purpose? Well, it was actually fairly simple. Brinkley was tired of having to answer questions in person, so with the medical question box, he would simply allow people to write into him, and he would read said letter, diagnose each case, and suggest a treatment all over the radio.
Fucking genius.
With the launch of the medical question box in 1928, his secretary, Ruth Athey, and 8 assistants would read through all of the letters and select 75 of each of them.
Jesus.
And those 75 would be screened by Brinkley himself, and all the others tossed in the garbage. The idea was actually fairly genius in theory. Brinkley believed that he could mass diagnose people sharing similar symptoms and recommend drugs for them to take.
Just like WebMD today.
Basically,
damn
right. I wonder if like people heard this like, oh shit, I have stage 5 cancer, I'm dead.
Absolutely.
So not only did this guy invent radio advertising, he invented WebMD.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. Do you think this is scarier, or do you think WebMD is scary? I refuse to go on WebMD.
Yeah, I'm
not going on
every
there.
Sniffle is cancer. But
Yes.
this is before anybody even had that idea.
Yeah, like all the super terminal disease. Well, I guess you die from about everything.
Yeah, and this is like the perfect scare tactic. Like, this is fantastic for him.
He believed this was the way of the future, and other doctors would follow suit. Or, as he said, the future was not operating with the old-fashioned scalpel, but with the
radio knife, one which does not burn or cut.
I want to be cut open by a radio knife. Let's hear a few examples of the medical question box working its magic. A woman writes to Brinkley about her 6-year-old daughter who is complaining of cramps. After reading the letter on the air, Brinkley says,
I think she is wormy. Ask for prescription 94 for worms. In regard to yourself, you had your appendix taken out. You're going to get into a little trouble later on. My advice is number 61 and stay on it for about 10 years.
A 10-year prescription, huh?
I think she's wormy. Can you go to the doctor and be like, I think you're wormy. God. You're a wormy little kid.
You know what? I'm going to try it the next time I go.
Did he forget he's not a vet?
Yes. Maybe he just recommended the collars to put on her. The flea collar. Go down and get that flea collar for your daughter.
Get the Frontline Plus.
Yes. Or this letter from a person from Dresden, Kansas.
Probably he has gallstones. No, I don't mean that. I mean kidney stones. My advice to you is to put him on prescription number 80 and 50 for me. Also 64.
Jeez.
I think that he will be a whole lot better. Also, drink a lot of water. I mean, there is one good piece of advice in there.
What, water?
No, prescription 50.
Yeah, that's the
good.
cure.
That is good. This is where the money was. In drug sales. Brinkley had managed to rope together 500 Midwestern drugstores into the Brinkley Pharmaceutical Association.
Brilliant.
He then ensured that the president was a Topeka druggist who just so happened to be the brother-in-law of the state attorney general.
This dude is, like Adam just said, he's a fucking genius.
He's good, dude. He's all over the place.
He covers all his bases with every scheme as well.
Yes.
I can't even be mad at him.
No.
Oh, you will by the end of this episode, I'm pretty sure. He would then relabel all of the drugs and gave them numbers. This way, it adds a bit of a mystique to the prescription and also conceals what ingredients are in it.
Perfect. Just give him the old number 50.
Yes. They obviously made sure to charge an absurd amount for said medication. With each jar sold, Brinkley would get $1 kickback, which is about 6 times the normal amount of a retail sale.
Fuck.
Jesus.
On rare occasions, when reading a letter, he would not prescribe any medication, but it didn't matter, because when others were reading about the symptoms, it would slowly creep into their heads that they were suffering from whatever illnesses were being diagnosed on the air. He could diagnose anything from pinworms to lumbago, from heart disease to clammy hands. Nothing was too big for the medical question box.
Especially when you could screen every single letter.
First off, what the fuck is lumbago?
I don't know. Probably some type of lung ailment.
It's a back thing.
Is it? What is clammy hands?
It's what you have.
Yeah.
I don't have clammy hands.
It's called our life.
They're dry as fuck.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Apparently, Brinkley, in some cases, would even instruct the pharmacist with what he wanted in said drugs.
That's the way it should be.
Take, for example, prescription number 7. He advised his pharmacist that it
is an old time-honored itch recipe. Equal parts of gunpowder, sulfur, and hog lard, or any Vaseline or greasy base. The secret of its results is in its application. Instruct the patient to go on home, take a hot bath and dry thoroughly, grease themselves from head to foot with this, put on a union suit, stockings, and a soft cloth gloves, and go to bed. Grease for the second and third nights without bathing, wearing the same underclothing, and sleeping in the same bed. On the 4th day, take a good hot bath. Boil the bedding and clothing worn, and if you have been careful, the itch is gone.
I feel like 4 days is way too long to be having an itch.
I think your itch is going to go away by then anyway. You're just a greasy, dirty boy.
For some reason, I broke out with acne over my entire body for some reason.
No, it's not just that one spot that's itchy. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you're rubbing your entire body with fucking hog lard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every pore is just clogged to death.
Now, this is going to come as a complete shock from what we know about Brinkley, but all sales were not final. Ooh. He said,
I always make a refund on any prescription where the patient is not 100% pleased, and charge me up with the refund. I want 100% satisfaction.
Wow.
Where plenty of quacks would just have went for the quick buck, Brinkley saw the long-term con. For every whiner, there were plenty of others who would come in and be plenty happy.
Absolutely. That's an acceptable loss right there.
Do you think that's why they do this now for refunds?
100%.
Like, they'll just, take in the whiners, but everybody will be like, ooh, they really care about me.
It completely makes sense.
Yes. It didn't take the Brinkley Pharmaceutical Association to report sales jumps as high as $75 a day. The trade magazine Midwestern Druggist wrote this.
The results that Brinkley had been able to produce have been phenomenal. More like a fairy tale than a real happening in modern business.
I wish Midwestern Druggist was still around. I would get a subscription.
Let's bring it back.
Let's revitalize the brand.
Midwestern Druggist. Even the most ethically minded pharmacists would find it hard to turn down that much money.
Hell yes.
But diagnosing symptoms over the radio wasn't as glamorous as it may seem. Take, for example, this story from Dr. H.W. Gilley of Ottawa, Kansas. He was brought to the bedside of a mailman on the edge of death. Dr. Gilley said,
I found the patient profoundly collapsed, his countenance ghastly, icy cold, pulseless, and apparently dying from great shock. Upon my question as to what had happened, he whispered, I took some of Brinkley's pills.
The doctor then examined the bottle. It was Brinkley's number 50.
Oh, the classic.
Yeah, liver medication, priced at $3.50, which tests later proved was actually worth about 75 cents.
Yeah, well, that's just prescription drugs, right?
Yeah.
True. Gilley found the effect of number 50 to have been
so drastic upon the patient as to produce enormous cholera-like grippings and actions and vomiting, causing a tear open of an old ulcer and violent hemorrhage. The vomiting and intense pain continuing, X-ray pictures were taken, showing the pyloric orifice about 1.5 inches to be nearly closed, and it will soon be imperative to make a new opening by attaching the bowel to the lower margin of the stomach.
Oof. That's graphic.
Get in prescription 57.
I'm getting horny.
You're getting horny by choking cholera-like symptoms?
Getting a little horny off his half-inch bowels here.
Another surgeon named Dawson spoke for thousands of other surgeons who didn't like what Brinkley was doing. He wrote this letter in a local newspaper.
It is not in the hope of increasing our business or of putting down a competitor that we are trying to strangle Brinkley. But it is because Brinkley is an active menace to the health of the population of the territory wherever his activities extend. He has without doubt done untold harm and very little good. Yesterday, I heard him advising a patient who had written in that he had a pain in his stomach at times, without relation to eating or the kind of foods taken. His advice was to take milk and eggs for 3 weeks, and if pain left him, then this was a positive diagnosis of gastric or duodenal ulcer. And no matter where he went, he could not get a more accurate diagnosis at the best hospital or clinic in the United States.
Hey, at least he's confident in his diagnosis.
Is he just hoping that they'll die in 3 weeks so that he can't be...
I think he's just throwing darts at the dartboard, just
drink some milk.
Yeah, milk
Some
and
eggs on
it. Yes. And so the surgeon's letters continue on, but you get the idea. Then our boy Morris Fishman
Welcome back.
received a letter from J.A. Gavin of American Company. Ironically, Brinkley was actually helping their company. It read,
Dear Dr. Fishbean, we have been recently startled by the unexplainable demand on the part of our customers for sodium borate CP powder. From our representatives, we have learned that Dr. Brinkley of Milford, Kansas has broadcast recommendations for the use of Merck's sodium borate CP in obesity, and we have been literally swamped with orders, not only from the trade, but also from the lady. We have taken action by notifying our customers, as well as our sales staffs and such retail druggists as have inquired of us regarding the product, strongly discouraging the use and sale of this material for the above-mentioned purpose, as we are cognizant of the dangers involved in the enter and administration of sodium borate.
So, sodium borate, or borax, is found is an ingredient found in all-purpose cleaners,
Yeah.
toilet bowl cleaners, laundry detergent, including some labeled as natural, laundry stain removers, air fresheners, dish detergents, glass cleaners, diaper creams, pesticides to kill ants, and herbicides, as well as some slimy, pliable toys like Play-Doh, Gak, or Silly Putty.
Oh, so like it's good for obesity too.
Yeah, because you'll be dead and you'll be slowly whittling away.
It's a good cure, death.
Your stomach's gonna smell great.
Yes.
It's not gonna have any stains on it, and it'll be diaper rash free.
So if we
And fun to play with after you're dead.
So if we just put like some Ajax on, say, like spaghetti or something,
Yeah,
we can
pretend it's
slowly.
Oh my god, it's the hottest weight loss trend.
Take your Ajax and put it on your spaghetti, boys.
Ajax Parmesan.
I was going to say, it looks like Parmesan. We're good.
Obviously, Fishman did not like this idea in the least bit and passed the letter on to his bosses at the AMA, and they gave him this reply.
There is nothing the medical profession can do except to warn the public against the thing. Brinkley is getting to be a perfectly impossible problem. His broadcasting is putrid.
Strong words there, sir. Whatever we believe about the medical question box, it is averaging about $14,000 a week in 1928.
Fucking what?
He is killing it.
That's beautiful.
The ironic part was that with Brinkley's medical question box success, it blew open the door for corporate America to unleash hell onto the advertising world. Every can, bottle, or box that was advertised on the radio had its own theme song, such as the Sunkist musical cocktail program or Libby's pineapple picador.
Ooh. Those both sound delicious and erotic.
Listerine even had a catchy new saying.
Send those youngsters of yours into the bathroom for a good night gargle.
Oh.
Kind of dirty.
It's hot.
I'm going to give Adam a good night gargle.
Hell yes.
Now, if we remember, the AMA was still banning advertising from its members, but doctors were feeling the heat from their empty waiting rooms. Why would you waste time drudging to the doctor when you could be diagnosed and prescribed medication over the radio?
I'm saying it for years.
Makes sense.
Now, with the other doctors feeling left in the dust, Morris Fishman decided perhaps this would be the perfect opportunity to strike. He could finally attack Brinkley for using advertising. With the backing of several other outraged surgeons behind him, Morris vowed to
bring every resource to bear. The AMA, the Federal Trade Commission, the Better Business Bureau, whatever it takes.
Listen, man, you don't fuck with the Triple B.
They're the worst, by the way.
Are they?
Yes, all they are is bullies, basically. They're not accountable to anything.
What if you have a really good business? Are they still going to pest you?
If you don't pay to get their little license thing, that's what it is. You're basically paying to get their certificate that says you're a member.
Are they involved with like, what is it at the restaurant? The health inspector?
No,
that's different.
no, yeah.
So you just want the little torchy thing that says Triple B.
Yeah, the
That's
Triple
right.
B is just about, like, customer complaints and shit.
Okay.
They're a consumer watchdog group, but they suck.
So can they come after the Bumblebee podcast gets BBB whatever confirmed or
We should see if we can get BBB accreditation.
wait, do we have to be an LLC?
I mean, that wouldn't take very long. I think we just have to file a piece of paperwork.
We can go to LegalZoom.com.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also, LegalZoom, you owe us like $20.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Seriously.
We'll settle for $5.
Fishman first started by traveling to several states that Brinkley was allowed to practice medicine, and after a bit of arm twisting was able to get his permits pulled.
What a dick.
He even managed to get the London Medical Board to pull his right to practice in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
This outraged Brinkley, and he hit the airwaves to let the audience know. He said,
Fishy fish bin, smoking oligarchs. These MDs are a stinking, thieving, lying bunch. I'll grind their heads off under my heel like I would a snake.
Oh.
he's getting angry. Now, Brinkley actually received a little backup from someone who would normally be considered an enemy. That man's name was Norman Baker, a long-jawed fire eater from Iowa.
Oh, it's your people.
Hell yeah.
Representation.
Baker had tasted fame already because he was a stage magician in Launderville who worked alongside Madame Tangley, who reads minds while levitating in the air, and an electric man he zapped nightly with
enough electricity to melt iron bars while held in ice water.
You guys got a good life, I bet. Now, Baker had founded his own radio station in Muscatine, Iowa, called KTNT, standing for Know the Naked Truth.
Yeah.
He was doing the exact same racket that Brinkley was with the uproar of the medical question box surging the nation in 1929. Baker joined in on making fun of the AMA over the airwaves.
Hell yeah.
If you are wondering what some of Baker's remedies were, they included curing appendicitis with onions. He created a paste used to remove leg knots from horses.
All right.
And then finally created a new drinkable treatment for cancer.
That's called cyanide.
We did it.
It kills you.
We did it.
Which, of course, was a secret, but Baker would open a cancer-curing refreshment stand inside his new hospital in Muscatine, which was from a converted roller rink.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, that's better than demolishing and rebuilding.
After your cancer gets cured, get on out there and boogie.
It's couples time at the hospital.
I'd feel comfortable at a hospital if, like, just roller skate girls were just coming in and taking your blood and stuff.
It's a perfect nurse, is what that is.
This guy's a fucking clown. In the start of 1930, Radio Digest announced that Brinkley's KFKB was the most popular station in the United States.
In Iowa.
No.
This is Brinkley
This
in
is
Kansas.
Brinkley.
Oh, Brinkley, our boy.
Yeah, Brinkley.
We're back in there.
Having received more than twice as many votes as second place and 35 times as many votes as third place, which was his local rival, WDAF, owned by the Kansas City Star. Either way, not too long into the phenomena of the medical question box, Fishbin had managed to get Brinkley to have to face the Federal Radio Commission in court. Ooh. Brinkley was in trouble, and he knew it. So he reached out to his followers with a letter that read,
My dear radio friend, thousands of letters and affidavits have arrived pledging me your support in the present hour of trial. I appreciate your loyalty more than you will ever know. Now don't sit back and think your job is done. Appoint yourself a committee of one to see the listeners of KFKB, have them wire or write the Federal Radio Commission at Washington, D.C., and tell the truth about me and my policies. Have your friends to see their friends and have letters written and wires sent. After our honor has been vindicated, may the God of peace continue to water over and keep up.
What is the God of Peace? I've never heard of that before.
It's probably just God, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
The fucking, this is the original begging for iTunes reviews right here.
Is that what he's doing right here?
Yes.
Okay, well, did he started that too, apparently.
He's following the podcast, like, format 100%.
Now, Brinkley found out something else that little fishy Fishbin had been up to as well, and that was to get his Kansas medical license pulled. Brinkley was furious and ran several full-page newspaper ads that read,
I defy the American Medical Association.
Brinkley was going to have a battle on his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Fishbin was also trying to shut down Norman Baker's radio station. It was said after Fishbin publicly called Baker a ghoul, Baker had made sure to arm his entire staff with guns.
Oh, hell yeah.
And would constantly spout that the AMA was after him.
Well, because they are.
Then, one day, he received a call that said,
Mr. Baker had better not come down. There are 3 tough-looking guys parked across the street in an old Buick.
oh, it's Max.
It's making a lot of
Got
noise.
a loud-ass exhaust going on. Baker and 3 other men headed downstairs and spotted 3 men attempting to hide behind the hedges. They immediately started opening fire and shooting blindly until they heard screams of pain. then stopped firing and took notice of 2 of the 3 men dragging their friend that had been shot. The following day, a huge newspaper headline read,
"Gunfight climaxes fight with Dr. Fishman."
Baker believed they were assassins sent by the AMA, but nobody really ever knows who exactly these men are. They were later able to prove that Fishman couldn't have been anywhere near Baker's hospital because he was receiving an operation for hemorrhoids in Chicago.
The classic excuse.
R.I.P.
Hemorrhoids saved the day again.
Plus, he's a little Melvin that works for the AMA. He's not going to be
dork.
shooting at a radio station.
I think he has seriously like the old-timey, like really long, like goatee.
Oh,
I think
perfect.
he's rocking that.
I trust him then.
Now, back with Brinkley, the thought of having his Kansas medical license revoked was seriously starting to gain steam and fast. Then finally, on April 29th, 1930, the Kansas State Medical Board, backed by the AMA, filed formal charges against the doctor for gross immorality and unprofessional conduct. Now, his radio station rival, WDAF, owned by the Kansas City Star, took this irresistible story and did their own digging in an attempt to find former patients of Brinkley's. One reporter said,
I have gone into the homes and found men bedridden, ruined by the bungling butchery of this man Brinkley. I have found women crippled for life, crouching in wheelchairs. I have found men who went to Brinkley, and now they are like Lazarus who lay at the gate, covered in sores.
Oof. There was another story of Mrs. Cora Maddox, who, when she was 15 years old, was being held prisoner to Brinkley for payment for an appendicitis surgery. She said,
I lay at the point of death while Brinkley, drunk, straddled the doorway with a revolver in his hand and threatened to shoot my 2 brothers if they did not pay him.
Fucking hell.
Can you imagine if that's what doctors did now? Sit in your doorway with a gun if you don't pay them?
I'd respect them.
I mean, they would be sending full-on hit teams to my house by now.
After these stories ran, Brinkley responded by saying,
I will not accept any patient who cannot be cured or who may die under treatment. No patient of mine has ever died here. If we should have a man die here, the doctors who are fighting me would publish it all over the country, so I must be careful. Other doctors may kill him off, but I daren't.
How noble of you, sir.
He's so trustworthy.
Yeah.
Brinkley had another little deep secret that people weren't aware of. For years...
He had a micro penis.
He might have. I don't know. He claims he never had goat balls, though. That's very important. He never did surgery on himself.
Oh.
For years, he had been sending his own little goon squad of Pinkerton detectives.
Ooh, is that like a code name for his dick and balls? His
What?
little goon squad?
I guess.
Oh.
Who he claimed were his security guards, and he would send them to the homes of dissatisfied patients. They never hurt anyone, but apparently they never needed to. One of his goons, Howard Hale Wilson, described himself as
A male secretary and fixer with hands like hams. If anybody ever gets in the way of my boss, I'll fix them like this.
I don't know why that hands like hams just remind me of you for some reason.
It's gonna hit you with those Christmas hams.
Now, Brinkley was keeping busy with his upcoming battles. Firstly, he hired men to dig up dirt against the members of the Kansas Medical Board. He filed a suit suing Fishman for her defamation of character and even made a last-ditch effort to have Baker team up with him, which Baker ignored, and instead, on May 12, 1930, Baker hosted a thrilling festival in Iowa with more than 30,000 true believers.
What's a thrilling festival in Iowa?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh, tell me.
Celebrating that he had conquered cancer.
The great
Fuck yeah.
conqueror. He's conquered the worst disease of all time.
That's why the government's trying to shut him down.
They
No
don't
money
want
in a
the
cure.
They don't want the cure getting out. The grand finale of the festival was when 68-year-old Mandus Johnson took the stage and then sat on a chair.
That sounds pretty exciting for Iowa standards.
What a fucking thrilling ride.
Baker, staff surgeon, then slowly removed the bandage covering his head and peeled back part of his scalp,
What?
then part of his skull, exposing the cancerous brain matter. The surgeon then salted his brain with a special powder created by Baker and replaced the scalp. The man then stood up and shook hands with everybody, and the crowd erupted and started cheering.
Put a little fucking lime salt on there, and you're fucking good to go.
What the fuck did I just hear?
His head's a margarita glass now.
They seasoned his brain.
Yeah, he's good to go.
He's got some Canadian steaks.
How is he awake when they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, you have to be awake for brain surgery.
Yeah, he like... they basically made it sound, maybe he was doped up, I don't know, but his shit must
They
have
peeled his head back.
Yeah.
it must have already been cut open.
Yeah, I think they pre-did all that stuff.
And then they just kind of like moved it like a...
Yeah, but they still rolled it back like a tuna can.
Yeah, they did do that.
Yes.
And they took off a little piece of his skull, too, yeah.
They just dusted his brain with a little powder.
Yeah.
It doesn't say if he died afterwards, but it said some people
He
in
did.
the crowd...
He did.
It said some people in the crowd were like puking and shit after seeing this. But a lot
After
of
seeing a man's brain?
yeah,
Yeah,
we get seasoned here.
yeah. With some Lowry's.
I'll do that for you, Jordan, if anything ever happens.
Oh, thank you, Cody. Oh my god, I'm actually feeling kind of sick to my stomach
Dude,
thinking about that.
I think is it Saw 3 where they cut his fucking skull? Oh, that part just is fucking
I still remember
disgusting.
that, like, because they use like a fucking drill, like a circular drill.
yeah, with a hole saw.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, it's
hachi
bad.
machi, and
It's
you
too
can
much.
hear it like rattling off the skull too. I don't like that too.
Well,
much.
and then he's like shaking his head like,
That's
not
no
for
good.
me.
He
Not
didn't
for-
get up and shake hands with everyone and had a cheer.
He didn't.
God, I
He didn't
don't
have the
even want to
Lowrys.
think about that.
You don't have the Lowrys, you're not shaking
No,
hands.
no. What if at the end of the story it's like, and that's how Lowry seasoning salt was created?
Thank you, Dr.
I'd
Baker.
still use it.
Back with Brinkley, it was finally time for him to head to Washington, D.C. to defend himself in court as they were trying to pull his license to run a radio station.
Whoa!
At first, he offered to pay for all of the people in his corner to join him on the train ride until he saw how much it was going to cost and then backtracked on his offer. But still, 35 of his most dedicated followers still joined him.
Hey, can we make a pact right now?
What?
If anyone ever tries to pull our podcast license, we'll load up a train with 35 of our
Hell
most
yeah.
loyal fans.
Damn right.
I think, what is the train around here now? What's it called? What's the big company called?
Amtrak?
Amtrak, yeah. How much do you think tickets for Amtrak is?
I don't know why train is so prohibitively expensive compared
Yeah,
to
no.
airplanes.
Yeah, I looked it up for like a week or 2 week long trip just to ride like through the PNW and whatnot, and I was like, why is this $4,000?
$4,000?
It's unbelievable.
And
Holy
that was
fuck.
like sharing a car with someone to sleep in. Like a complete stranger.
Jesus.
I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Ugh. Well, okay, I guess we'll just keep riding planes then.
Yeah. I'll gladly jam myself right next
Yeah.
to anyone that
It's
is
only
unfortunate
a
enough.
few hours of being uncomfortable, so
Yeah. It's awful.
yeah. Oh yes.
Everything sucks.
I just get drunk before.
That's probably smart. I might start Z-quilling it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, most of these followers would take the stand in his defense, as well as several members of his radio staff. One such testimony came from a kindergarten teacher who explained how the medical question box worked. She said,
You just listen over the radio to what other ladies write about their symptoms, and you'd be awful dumb if you didn't know what was the matter with you.
she told the story of up until she found compound number 150, she had been a prisoner to constipation, and now had all 10 members of her family on it.
It is not only good, it is wonderful.
That's a cursed family.
First off, I've never heard anyone referred to as a prisoner of constipation.
Well, have you ever had one really stretch your anus out?
Yeah.
And then you know what it's like to be a prisoner.
What's like the most amount of days between pooping, Jordan?
I don't know, maybe like 2?
Okay. See, you're not a prisoner to constipation.
Yeah.
She could be like weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks of not pooping.
Could be like firing out a real log.
Well, she only poops once and it's like 2 foot long.
Shit.
Gets
Just
it
a
all done at
bowling ball plopping out of there.
Even though Brinkley had so many people willing to testify for him, he seemed to be able to tell that this was a useless fight and offered to dispose of the medical question box program. He always boasted that he could
Think of 3 ways to get rich before breakfast.
Whoa. God, I love you, Brink.
At first, they were happy he was willing to give up on the medical question box program, but they soon seemed to change their minds. On June 13th, 1930, in a 3-2 vote, they decided to pull his radio license altogether.
It's ridiculous.
Brinkley was furious.
Yes.
With his radio license appeal still pending, he was allowed to still broadcast, and he started attacking not only the AMA, but also President Hoover of criminal conspiracy.
I like it. Go for the jugular. Get him.
He started accusing the AMA of paying off the Federal Radio Commission. He told his flock,
If you people think that myself and my situation have been crucified and will tell your congressmen and senators, I may get my radio lessons back. Now, I shall discuss some of the beatitudes of Jesus as they came from his mouth on the Mount of Olives.
Hell yes.
I love how it gets so serious and then he instantly goes to God stuff.
Hey man, you don't fuck with the Holy Father.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You scare them that their person's going to be taken away. Brinkley's going to be taken away. And then put Jesus in there to smooth it all over.
God's gonna be mad.
Like a troweling. What's it called?
A what?
What are those
Troweling?
things
A finishing trowel?
called? A finishing trowel.
For concrete work?
That's right. Jesus will be your finishing trowel.
How did you know what that is?
Or sorry, flat trowel.
How did you know what that is?
What?
A finishing trowel.
Well, I used to work in a hardware store.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. 6 weeks later, on July 15th, 1930, the Kansas Board of Medical Examiners met to consider revoking his medical license. When Brinkley arrived for the meeting, he came in style.
Yeah.
He rolled up in his Cadillac, collared, buttoned and bejeweled, diamond tie pin,
Hell yeah.
diamond-studded tie
God
clasp,
damn.
diamond studs, and 2 diamond rings, one of which had a gem as big as a human eye.
Oh, I love this man even more,
Is
Cody.
he dripping? Is this what we
Oh.
call dripping?
He's
Think
dripping.
That's fleeking right there,
He's
dude.
fleeking.
He's fleeking all over the gaff.
Listen, I would suck this man's dick if I saw him roll up. Amy, don't listen to that part.
Yeah.
Brinkley had no idea what was going to be the outcome of this hearing. The medical board could be unpredictable. Take, for example, farmer Henry Dorn was facing the state medical board on charges of sorcery in Wisconsin.
Listen, we have a lot of warlocks and witches over there, man.
Oh no.
I want to get charged with sorcery. I want to get charged with sorcery. I can't get over that. What do you even talk? What do you even talk about?
I don't know.
Like, wizard, pull out your fucking wand. What the fuck?
Like what? Just say stop. You're no longer allowed to like prescribe things anymore. You don't need a whole hearing to say stop being
Sorcery.
a witch.
All right, devil man.
It's fucking stupid.
Brinkley's hearing actually started off on an interesting foot when Brinkley's attorney and a local reporter were attempting to start a bit of fisticuffs
How about that? Come on.
before they even
I'll
went
strike
in
you, fellow.
before they even went in the courtroom. They're trying to fight.
Lawyers are pussies these days. They never try and
No,
tangle with a
start fighting
reporter.
reporters.
Dude, the only manly lawyer is the one that was going up against the gang, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes, yes.
The hands guy. Who's the hand? His uncle who's like super self conscious of his hands.
Yeah, that's not the lawyer, is it?
Yeah, no, the lawyer
thought he
is
was
the
the
one
lawyer.
who Charlie challenged to a duel, so he pulled a
Oh,
pistol out of his desk and was like, all right, when and where?
Yeah,
Okay, I remember that now.
yeah.
There were a lot of Brinkley's mangled former patients in the audience waiting to testify against him, such as R.J. Hibbard and his wife, who testified that after receiving his goat gland operation and had returned home, he lay unconscious for 3 days.
Normal.
Or Charles Ziegenhardt, age 60.
That is a hell of a last name.
Is that a Japanese name?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I might almost go Taiwanese, but, it's up for debate.
It's Zegan Harthu Charles San. Remember that.
Okay.
Because they say the names backwards.
Okay. So he's age 60, who said that instead of stitching him up properly after a prostate operation, Brinkley had plugged the bleeding wound with a piece of rubber boot heel and then just sent him on his way. What the fuck?
Get after it, buddy. See you later.
How could you just be doing surgery and just like grab something right in your scene, just like put it in there?
Oh,
like,
shit, this
is
dude's
fine.
bleeding a lot. Give me something. Anything, I don't care.
Give me
He
your boot.
literally put a boot up his ass.
Yeah,
It's
there
the
you go.
American way.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, I'm just going to say these sound like crisis actors to me.
Serious.
Ah, okay.
These are plants from the AMA.
Dude, they're trying to take down our boy.
Nobody would plug a hole with boot rubber. Nobody. This
like-
is obvious
It's
fake news.
at least 10th on my list of things to plug holes
Yeah.
with.
Yes,
Yes.
okay. At least get like wet toilet paper and put it up there first.
a piece of notebook paper.
Yes, yes.
It'll turn into something when it gets slicky with blood.
Or the brother of Coral Maddox testified and said,
I smelled whiskey on his breath. He opened a desk drawer, took out a revolver, and told me my sister would not come out of the hospital except over his dead body unless he was paid $100 more.
Well, no, that just seems excessive.
It's just business.
Another strong witness was Dr. R.R. Cave of Manhattan, Kansas, who
They sure do love naming their towns after way better towns, don't they?
who had ventured to Brinkley's clinic a year before just simply out of curiosity.
I just want to say right now, if you go by RR, that's fake to me.
Yeah, you're
You
a
mean
dickhead.
like the author, or no? Oh, it's R.R. Martin. Yeah.
George
Why was
R. R.
I
Martin,
thi-
J.R.R. Tolkien,
I was thinking of who created Harry Potter?
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I
Same
kept thinking.
thing.
I kept thinking of her for some
Same
reason.
thing. They all did it to ape fucking J.R.R. anyway.
Okay. Dr. Cave explained how he had studied his 4-stage compound operation where he transplanted an artery and a nerve so as to increase the blood and nerve supply to certain organs, to strengthen them and rejuvenate them. How he shrank enlarged prostates by cutting off the blood supply. But when Dr. Cave viewed the procedures for himself, he was surprised to find that no attempt was made to do any of these things. That the doctor just put little pellets inside the patient's scrotum and sewed them back up.
Wow.
They're goat
Wow.
pellets.
They could be like
Wow.
ceviche goat balls, I guess, and put in there, but no. There were certainly patients that were on Brinkley's side, such as Leonidas F. Richardson of York, Nebraska. Leonidas, come on, dude. Who raved about the miracles of goat glands.
He's a huge 300 fan.
It had cured his diabetes, kidney, and prostate problems. A rejuvenated 68-year-old offered to jump over the table to prove how the operation had rejuvenated him.
Sir, that proves nothing. You
He's like, let me jump over the table, Judge.
Sir, I feel like you may just want to jump over a table because you can at your age.
Get this man a table to jump over. A few happy customers said they weren't sure if they had actually received the goat glands or not, but said,
I shouldn't wonder, for I've been wanting to chew sprouts.
okay, sir.
Fucking kill me.
After intense questioning of Brinkley himself, he was adamant that his surgery was not dangerous. The prosecution pulled out a stack of documents they had collected. It was a stack of death certificates signed by Brinkley.
That's a doctor's job.
Yeah.
It's true. Good point, Jordan.
Yes, it is.
42 men, women, young and old, some who weren't even ill when they entered his clinic, had died by the hands or under his supervision, and at least 6 of them were in relation to the goat gland operation. Now, the fucked up part was, in 1930, in the eyes of the law, Brinkley was not considered a murderer. all they could do was pull his license.
They couldn't even put him away for grievous bodily harm or anything?
Nope, not at all. In a last-ditch effort, Brinkley invited all of the board members to his hospital to witness the ongoings for themselves. They weren't impressed, and 2 days later, his license was finally revoked.
Well, that's ridiculous. He pays so much attention to detail.
He gives back to the community.
Well, he makes sure all his T's is crossed and I's is dotted. And now you would think that he would clean up his hospital real nice for the AMA coming.
Well, apparently the collection of Boot Hill prostate surgeries aren't that impressive.
Yeah, I get it.
Now, one would expect, after hearing all of this, the long-winded story of Brinkley's life and downfall, he had lost his radio station, he had lost his medical license. What else could we possibly have to talk about with this man?
Nothing. Wrap it up, print it, let's go.
But as we know, Brinkley may have been a bad person, but he is ambitious and a forward thinker. 3 days after his license had been revoked, he released this statement. Not that one.
Thousands of Kansans have written me urging me to run for governor. Judging from my mail, the people of Kansas seem to believe that I have been persecuted, not prosecuted. As long as I have a leg to stand on, I will fight.
You heard that right. If Brinkley could win this election, he could perhaps get his radio station and medical license back.
Oh my God.
He also wanted to expose the racket that was going on with the American Medical Association. With the election a measly 5 weeks away, could Brinkley really pull off this impossible task?
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yep, and that's where we're going to pick it up next week, guys. We're going to learn all about his race for governor of Kansas and some other crazy shit that he, of course, has to get involved with.
Thank goodness I don't know anything about Kansas, so I don't know if he actually won this race or not. And
Listen.
I'm not going to look it up because I can't wait to find out.
The one thing I learned that we're not going to talk about next week is that apparently Kansas was like very Wild Westy around this time. Like they're very like, I think, okay, so they have prohibition right now, but apparently Kansas had outlawed alcohol like in 18 something. So they were very uptight, I guess you'd say. So.
Look up Bleeding Kansas when you get a chance.
Okay.
That shit's fucked up.
Is it?
It's all
what
about,
year is that?
It's right before the Civil War.
Okay.
It's all about whether or not Kansas was going to join the Union or the Confederacy, be a slave state or not a slave state.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
some Missouri folk had some stuff to say about that.
Okay. Cool.
It's fun. No, it's not. It's a fucking horror show, but
It's a cool story.
it's good to learn about. Yeah.
Yes.
It's fun to learn about.
Yeah. Apparently Kansas is pretty wild. So, well, maybe not anymore. It seems like the most boring state ever. But
Yeah.
I mean, the city that's named after the state.
In Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is Kansas
Yeah.
City, Kansas, but no one gives a shit about that.
Yeah. How does that work? How Kansas City, Missouri is cooler than Kansas City, Kansas?
That's how it is, man. They both smell like a fucking paper mill, though.
Yeah, but Kansas City, Missouri's got some damn good barbecue.
Oh.
I'm trying to think what I've been watching that has the paper mill in it.
Fight Club?
No.
The
no.
Office?
No. I don't know. I don't remember.
All right.
Maybe it's the confession tapes. No.
Well, if you know what Cody's been watching that has a paper mill in it, you can email us at bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com.
What's that, Adam?
bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at bumblebuttpod and on Facebook and Instagram at bumblebuttpodcast. All three of us have wonderful, beautiful, personalized Instagrams as well. Mine is at bumbleadam. Jordan's is at j.j.fox. And Cody's is at Cody Zebub. Now, a couple orders of business. We received a nice precursor care package from Alaska from our good friend Kaija.
Right. What'd she send you?
She sent us a couple jars of amazing honey. And it was so good.
Okay.
So good. She's also going to send us another taste of Alaska package at some point. So that's going to be a good time and a half. I'm very excited
I wonder
about
if she's
that.
going to send bear claws.
Ooh.
Apparently that's like the only part of the bear you eat, right? Is it feet?
I mean,
No,
that's donuts.
you
buddy.
can eat like everything about the bear.
Well, I know, but I think like the delicacy part is like the claws. Like you cook the meat, the claw meat.
Ah, like a lobster.
Yeah.
I think you're making things up.
It does sound made up.
You sound like
look
a
it
real
up.
Brinkley right now, Cody.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough, and I would like you to walk it back and apologize to our.
Well, if she wants to send a whole bear carcass, that's fine too.
I'll take a bear rug.
We also got a sick ass email from our good friend Emerson Lindstrom, and they.
Make some dope ass artwork.
That's what I was going to say. And they listen to us while they paint.
Ooh,
They paint
are we that
sick ass
relaxing?
roses, and they paint them and they love it. So
cool.
and Young Buck, Young Buck.
Young Buck. Mm-hmm. Who's Young Buck?
I think they are young.
Oh, okay. I got you. I see what you're saying.
That's a lot of fun. I thought I didn't know we were big in the high school community. You know
I've
what I mean?
gotten a few emails from high schoolers actually.
Really?
Or,
Yeah,
like,
I know
messages.
Emerson is doing some really cool stuff for their high school and whatnot. Keep it up.
Keep it up and email us always, everyone. You're all rad. You're all fucking cool ass dudes. Okay, next. And the most important part of the show, at least if you ask Cody, it's the iTunes reviews.
Yeah, we've received, I believe, one new 5-star that's non-written, but Sticklets,
Our boy Hugo Stieglitz.
he changed his to 5-star like he said he was going to.
Hell
Though,
yeah.
I forget what it said. It's fucking hilarious, though.
There you go, boys. 5 stars. I burped the other day and it tasted good. Sticklets. I don't know. Burps never taste fucking good.
Sushi burps.
You think so?
Sushi burps taste terrible.
Are you a joking kidding me right now?
Dude, I mean, give me some Mexican food or
No.
barbecue burps.
That's
Then
barf.
we're all about it.
That's called barf. Sushi
Barf?
burps taste like the wonderful fresh fish coming right back up, cooked by your stomach acid to perfection.
I guess I'll have to try to recall what a... I just feel bloated when I eat sushi. I just feel like it just
That's that
really
rice.
full. Yeah,
I feel
really
like I
full.
just ate something healthy when I eat sushi.
What are you eating when you feel like that from eating sushi?
I don't know. I get spicy tuna rolls. It's so fresh. That's the
okay.
thing. It's fresh and refreshing and
I eat
light.
volume. I eat volume when it comes to sushi, so I'm not...
I'm sure the all-you-can-eat buffet gets very afraid when you walk through that door, don't they?
They don't like it.
And they just had a sign that says, "Don't let him in here."
It's what sucks about those things is the wait time, where they make
Oh.
you wait while they're preparing it. And I know it doesn't take that long. There's 4 other people in this restaurant. Make my fucking food a little quicker and bring it to me, please.
Well, you like, is that one off 62? Is that all you can eat? You like that one?
Oh, right by
The
Teresa's?
bistro one.
Oh no, it's not all you can eat, but it is so good.
is.
Haiku
Yeah.
Bistro.
It's
That place
good.
is so fucking good.
Very
And
good.
Cody, please refer to that road by its proper God-given
110?
name. Yes.
110?
Yeah.
It's
that's
not
what
62.
Well, I-
62. I was like,
It's
I don't even know what that
110.
is.
I have no idea why they changed it. It's like the stupidest thing ever. I don't
and now
know.
they
Well,
call it Old 110, don't they?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Just keep it 110.
Wait, they went from 110 to 62 to old 110?
Well, no,
I've
it's
seen a sign for
62 / old 110.
That's fucking garbage.
Yeah, granted, 110 is like a 3-mile long road.
Yeah.
That's how we all know it from here.
Yes.
Keep it
Yes.
fucking 110.
62, I don't know
110
what
turns
the fuck
into
that is.
62.
No, the beauty was that not a lot of people used it, and it
Yeah.
was like a kind of a secret route. Now it's just a nightmare.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel about 55 right now. Nobody's on that bitch. Ever. Rush hour, nothing.
Oh, you take that into Minneapolis.
Yeah,
You
well,
are
he
going to
goes
have a
south.
bad
He goes south.
story.
But that's like when it becomes Hiawatha. Right?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can
That's
get to
where
the airport
The
from
worst
there
time
so
to
easy.
lights.
But you have to take 5. 55 to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
but
on
that's not
5 for
bad.
like a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
You go around the thing, you're in Richfield, and then the airport's right there. That's basically
Our
all I know.
glorious airport that's better than everybody
I
else's.
love it. I love it. Terminal 1 and 2. You drive right up. Pick up, drop off, whatever. And if you need to park there, it's like $15 a day, and it's a beautiful walk right to security.
See, I've never been to like inside Terminal 2. I don't know how it compares to Terminal 1 as far as
Small.
amenities
Yeah,
go.
There's no Taco Bell.
Is there a bar?
Yeah, I mean, you can get a booze anywhere.
Okay, good.
All right, well, since other stuff is happening, that is it's going to be a firm farewell from me. My name is Adam, and that's been Jordan. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Adam.
That's been Cody. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Adam.
And everybody, thank you so much, and have a nice weekend, unless it's Tuesday.
Our